Good morning, everyone. So I have 20 minutes. So I'll be sharing some practical insights because I come from law enforcement community, and I have a bit of experience in research also. I'm currently doing PhD, so I'll try to merge both the experiences, and I'll try to make it interesting and insightful. Uh, when I was the topic which was given to me is digital arrest, I thought why not use AI to find some more insight what's happening around the world. So I tried GPT-O1, the paid version, and Meta. So they gave a very different perspective. They perceived that digital arrest means arresting criminals, cyber criminals digitally. So both failed completely. So I figured out that this digital arrest phenomena is completely Indian, maybe largely Indian. And I still recall the day I was heading cybercrime division in 2023, and the very first case came to our notice, and media lapped up to give a good name to that phenomena, and that's how we came to know what digital arrest. In fact, the very beginning when media people started asking, sir, digital arrest hua ab kya, what is the matter? So I said, you have given this term, we have not given this term, and slowly and gradually this term started gaining currency, and now everybody in India knows what is digital arrest. Yeah. Where's the timer? Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so I'll start with one case which has been reported today in morning news. You may have come across IIT Delhi graduate, BTech 4th year. He was duped with 4 lakhs in November last year, and the culprits were caught finally. And the same usual, modus operandi, like the guy was posing as that someone from law enforcement community, from police department, and he said that there was some courier or something like that, and there was some parcel, and there was some fake, maybe passport or something like drug or something like that. And the person, the student, normally student don't come across such kind of calls, so he got scared, and all sorts of blackmailing happened thereafter, and he was somehow was duped with 4 lakhs rupees, and later on the culprit was caught. The amount was converted into crypto, and there was some China connection also. Another case which Delhi police cracked, 5.6 crore rupees was duped from a person. He was a doctor, and the person, on the other hand, the cyber criminal, was posing as a custom officer, Lucknow, and the social engineering, basically it's a social engineering, right? And somehow he was made to believe that the courier which was about to come had fake passport and some drug, and that was the consignment was being sent to Myanmar. So that kind of story was built up, and the victim somehow believed that the story is true, and thereafter fake arrest warrant was issued, fake seizure memo, seizure court order was also issued, and everything was happening through WhatsApp. And in fact, these are the 2 cases in which digital arrest means once the person was asked to receive search warrant and also arrest memo, and they said that we are not calling you, otherwise ideally we would have called you. I will facilitate, because the digital age will arrest you digitally, so you be in front of the webcam and we'll keep you arrested. And in the process they were negotiating, they were bringing all kinds of players from enforcement directorate, custom office, prosecution, and judiciary. And the ideal setting is like it's a call center, and in call center they have studios of all kinds. One studio will have background of a police station, another studio will have the background of courts, and likewise custom office, enforcement directorate office, all kinds of actual looking scenario would be created. And there was no reason for a gullible person, a victim, to disbelieve, because this happens for the first time. And such cases are not so many, and not everybody is not reading newspaper minutely what is happening. Somebody is not even aware of it. And students, we don't expect from them that he will take out time to go in details of all the news story. So this was another story, and there are many such cases where crores have been defrauded, and cases ended up into something called digital arrest. So I don't know why this term, but now this term has become common, so I'm also using this term. And the basic underlying thing is what that has been summarized in a beautiful acronym, and that is called GULF. Why these things are happening? There is an acronym called GULF, G-U-L-F. Anyone who knows GULF, the acronym? Please do remember. I'm just elaborating for you. GULF stands for G for greed, U for urgency, L for love or lust, and F for fear. We get victimized by cyber criminals because these four factors. Sometimes out of greed, when we get victimized through loan scam, and we have investment scam, and we have the high hopes that will multiply our money very fast. So it's a greed. Sometimes urgency, because cyber criminals will make things very, very urgent. They will say you are going to be arrested. If you do take some action, perhaps you can be saved. They won't give you time to apply your rational mind. So this is urgency. Third is lust or love, because there are some cases of blackmailing, either because of lust or because of need for love, expectation of love. And fourth is fear. Of course, in digital arrest, it's because of tremendous amount of fear that a person loses his rational mind. He just does what is dictated by the cyber criminals. So what is the way out? Of course, we should first be aware of these are the four things we should be not be under the influence of. And what are the way out? The moment such things happen in digital space, in cyberspace, you should think about SEAC. S for slow down. The moment you are getting such kind of calls, your alarm bell, your alarmist you should be immediately activated. So you should first slow down and then evaluate what could be the scenario, whether it's real or fake. You start believing with fake, because once you have this feeling that in cyberspace we should start with zero trust. I think our opening address was also talking about Mr. Sahu, Dr. Sahu was saying that zero trust. Zero trust in cyberspace we should start with zero trust. And finally act. If you follow this, perhaps 99.9% you will not fall victim. This is for every one of us. And why I am saying so? The most intelligent people, most aware people are also getting victimized, also falling victim to such kind of crimes. One such case I was seeing right in front of me. A colleague of mine, not from my service, but he is a government service, and he was getting call, and he was trusting that call so much. No, this is call very real, because somebody is telling me that my number has been flagged by DOT, that it has been used in some kind of illegal activities, or maybe some kind of downloading some stuff, and I mean there's no reason to disbelieve. And the person in front of me was proceeding further, so much so that a video call suddenly started coming, and I was there, so I realized that there's no point proceeding further. So I stopped. In fact, I intervened and stopped that crime being committed. But point is, such things are so common, and most intelligent people are falling victim. It means the real issue is a question of I could not figure out, I am a fool. No, it's because of Gulf, urgency, and because the AI driven system and social engineering. Social engineering, because cyber criminals are so smart in creating a scenario, realistic scenario, that and they will give you some realistic information. One such information is when they talk about courier, actually some courier is actually coming to you. Now the question is, as an ordinary citizen, I would not disbelieve, because if I am getting a courier from Blue Dart and somebody is telling me your courier is coming from Blue Dart, but there is one issue, I have to believe it, because I am looking for my courier. But the problem is the data related to courier services, that is being shared. So the real issue is not I am a fool. The real issue is the data which is sacrosanct, and under Digital Personal Data Protection Act, such data should not be shared. But till now DPDP Act has not been enforced. The notification, we are waiting for notification of rules. But till such time, stringent action is taken against those data fiduciary who is supposed to protect personal data. I mean, we are bound to have such kind of crimes. And why? Because the courier data is being shared with purpose, or maybe by some nefarious design, because there are many data entry operators in the courier company, they sell illegally such data to maybe in darknet, because darknet is full of such kind of offer, and a lot of such data is available in darknet, and their cyber criminals are taking that data, using that data for cybercrime. So we have a belief that perhaps after DPDP is fully enforced, maybe at least this illegal sharing of data will be drastically reduced. I won't say it will be completely eliminated. So that is one hope. So now, second point is why such crimes are sophisticated. Apart from social engineering, another thing is we have to understand is, as sir said, Dr. Pawan Dugal, Gen AI. Because of Gen AI, perhaps it has become so difficult to distinguish between real and fake content. Now, what is real and fake content? It's not only text. It's also audio, it's also video, images, codes, your biometrics, face, your fingerprint, everything can be artificially created. Now, question is, so far criminals are creating studio with actual person. You will find the actual police officer, means like some real person masquerading as a police officer. Soon, we will be finding a AI generated police officer, and in image or video form it will be very difficult to, because nowadays in Gen AI, a real person and AI generated person doesn't have much difference, because it's so photorealistic. From psycho-visual perspective, and particularly when you are getting something in the digital form on screen, it will be very difficult for you to understand this person actually exists or not. Now the question is, for law enforcement, even if we get the screenshot of the person who is masquerading as a police officer, that person doesn't exist. Based on face identity, I cannot catch hold of that person, because that person is not existing in this world. Similarly, for the audio, the voice would be AI generated, and scenario could be something like this. So far we are finding digital arrests where actual actors are masquerading as police officer or ED official or custom official or prosecutor or judicial officer. Now AI actors would be performing all those actions, and the actual actors would be several layers behind. They would be giving a script. That script will be spoken by AI generated video and images, AI generated fake setting of police station or judicial courtrooms or ED office, etc., etc. So that is going to be next level of challenge. I feel sir talked about something called, we knew that crime as a service, in a dark net we have something called crime as a service. Now perhaps crime in agentic AI, this is the year of agentic AI, perhaps by the end of this year we may have agentic AI, means crime as an agent. So even cyber criminals would not commit crime directly, they would ask the crime agent to commit crimes, and they will create so many bots. For each kind of modus operandi, they can have one agent. So for social engineering of one kind, they will have one crime agent. For social engineering of some other kind, they will have another crime agent. And there will be series and hierarchy of such crime agents, and they will be committing crime. Now, for law enforcement, catching hold of a criminal will be further difficult, because one level of difficulty is finding the person, right? Who is actually committing all these things? Only two ways. Normally we have two ways to find out. We get the IP address, we get the SIM number. Tell me, is there any other way to find in digital space? In cyber space, only identity is MAC address also you can get, but who bothers for MAC address? You can throw the device, right? So MAC address is not something really is going to help you. IP address, a reasonable way of actually getting deeper into investigation, and of course SIM number by which internet connectivity is ensured. Now these two initial, lead, most of the time they lead us to dead end, for the simple reason because that SIM card or maybe that IP address, they have been created for someone who is a very ordinary citizen, maybe some construction worker, who has nothing to do with actual crime, who is even not aware that his IP address or his SIM number or his bank account would be used for committing large number of crimes. At best, he would be knowing someone who had visited his place and offered some 1,000 rupees for a copy of his Aadhaar card, and there is syndicate who works very smartly, very efficiently based on Aadhaar card. It's very easy to find, get a SIM card or getting KYC cleared. So point is, until we have a very robust mechanism of enforcing KYC, so that getting fake account, getting fake IP address is not possible. Second, accountability on the part of actual person, because some amount of verification should be required. Why some people are buying lot many SIM cards, lot many accounts using someone else's Aadhaar card? So there has to be some kind of some verification, some kind of robust checks and balance, so that these things are not gamed by cyber criminals. So I'll give you some insight here how we are meeting this challenge, how we are trying to mitigate it. So I think the best antidote is awareness. It might sound very a cliche kind of thing, because everybody is talking about awareness, but awareness means we can really contain 90% of the burden of crime. Of course, 10% crime would still happen, and we have to tackle through other modes, maybe very effective investigation, coordination between all agencies. And we hope that we have, Delhi Police has launched Delhi Police Hackathon, and this hackathon is, the grand finale is going to happen on 18th and 19th of this month. And we hope that one of the problem statements of this hackathon is digital arrest. And we have invited startups, students from across India, different top institutions, and we have a belief that someone will come with some great solution how to help citizens in tackling this scourge of digital arrest and things related to that. And also, as you know, I4C, Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, this is a massive initiative of Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs, almost 5 years. And it has come out as a big institution, an umbrella organization through which all kinds of cyber crimes are being tackled, not only reporting, but also for investigation, also for threat assessment, coordinated and focused action on different cyber criminal groups. And the success story is worth mentioning here. And there's something called CFCF RMS that ensures that once you report a cyber fraud, quick action is taken in coordination with banking services, banking agencies, so that if the money is in the cyber system, money is in the software system of banking services, that money can be put on lien, and that can be recovered to the victim. And one more thing I would talk about, because we know that when we talk about Gen AI, and we also talk about encryption, data encryption, the time has come that we should also devote our time and energy for making the post-quantum cryptography. I talk about this thing in every such forum, because I feel that it's a high time we should have our robust encryption standard. It's high time we should have our own foundational model, because this morning there was talk on model poisoning, there was talk of inference poisoning, and there was talk of data poisoning. Ethical AI demands that we should address these issues of biases, prejudices, which is hidden inside the data. And an AI system is as good as the data on which it has been trained, and all the human weaknesses of biases, prejudices are already encapsulated in the data which we are creating, and that models are also learning from that. So as we know that AI is a black box, we can't expect beyond the point, because we exactly don't know how model has learned from the data. So it's a time for something called explainable AI. More and more efforts are required on that front. Then only we'll have trust on AI system. And why I'm saying so, because when we are going to tackle cybercrime of all hues and all kinds of modus operandi, we need to have we cannot tackle it only by a human effort, because it requires a huge amount of AI driven system, so that all kinds of attacks, all kinds of potential criminals can be identified using the footprints, digital footprints, and using AI driven models, AI driven system. So with this I would want to conclude, and I hope that with the kind of collaboration, with the kind of synergy we are creating with a fora like this, more and more ideation will happen on this issue, and multi-sectoral and interagency coordination can be ensured, and better understanding between different organizations, different stakeholders can be created, so that we can tackle this scourge of cybercrime. Thank you so much.